And it is an illegal block in the back.
Yeah, Jacob was blocking, and then after the block, he just threw his hand straight up like, I didn't do it. And that's
usually a sign that you did something.
and a lot of you may not do it, but officials
Right.
see the hands go up.
Right.
Pushes the ball back to the 36.
31.
31.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was a little down the field, so it is only going to be 1st and 15.
That's why you're here.
Absolutely. Mack. Throw it down the seam. It's
Nice.
caught by Pierce, and he's got a nice gain out to the 43. So we think Pierce committed the last penalty there. He made up for it with a nice grab. Pickup of about 12. Bring up 2nd and short. We don't think the Tarpons have any timeouts. We don't think the Tarpons have a whole lot of time. So we would think that they're going to have to be on the ball here going pretty quick.
Good route by Jacob Pierce. Came back, caught the ball, picked up positive yards. Good protection from the line.
2nd down and 2. Mack will hand it to Dardar. Not much. In fact, pretty much no gain. Tell you what, Tyler Lewis got to be proud of the way his defensive front has held up after the first, 5 or 6 snaps. They have done an excellent job.
Yeah, good adjustment. They're plugging up the middle again and telling the Tarpons if you want to run, it's going to have to be on the outside.
Scoreboard update. Thibodaux leads Ellender 14-0 out there over at South Terrebonne. That's the score here. 3rd and short for the Tarps. Mack steps up in the pocket. He's hit. He's dropped. Good defense that time from the Tigers. And a timeout called by Tyler Lewis. Tells me he wants maybe the ball back for his offense. Again, we have no scoreboard here, y'all, so we don't know the time. We know it's getting close to halftime. It will be 4th down. The Tarpons are going to likely be punting the football away.
Timeout Tigers.
Ball's at the 39.
About maybe a 6-yard loss or so.
Yeah. So we'd assume they're keeping the time on the field.
Now, it's a good situation for the Tarpons here in the Jamboree. You get to possibly work on your punt team against live action.
Yep. Good point. I'll be honest, I'm not even all the way sure who the punter is. I'd heard Talon Due.
Is back there.
I would say Terrence would be punting it, but Terrence is not on the field. So, but this also may be a situation, Brian, there might be like 4 seconds left, too. The Tarpons might just be throwing one deep here.
Or they're going to punt it with Matt.
It is 4th and 7. Yeah, Mac's going to punt this football, won't he? He's in a long shotgun. There it goes. He punts it away. It's not a bad kick either. It'll bounce and roll. Hey, that'll boy, Mac. That'll be down inside the 10, still rolling. It'll be killed at the 14. So that's just about all you could expect there. That's an excellent job from Josh Mack.
Down on the 14-yard line.
So Terrebonne will take over.
We can see throughout the year right here when they line up in that formation when it's 4th and like more than 5, and if they're not in an advantageous field position, if teams don't try and block it, the punt with Matt.
The problem is if you stack it up too much, he could throw it.
Yeah,
yeah, it is. It's kind of a catch-22. Terrebonne called timeout to preserve the clock. Don't know exactly what's on the clock, but they're at their own 14. Oliver will be back there. Celestine will be joining them in the gun. 3-receiver set. Oliver will hand it to Celestine, makes a man miss, looking to bounce outside. He's got a big old game, but this is coming back. He's driving across midfield. He's maybe going to house call this, and he will, but this is coming back. This is going to be a hold on the right tackle. Mr. Miller's already signaling it before he's even in the end zone. So a long run will go for naught for Terrebonne.
Celestine in for a touchdown from 86
I've
yards
never
line.
seen that one
The
before.
Eagles
The white hat official was signaling the penalty before the running back was even in the end zone on the run. He was already ready to say, hey, that one's coming all the way back.
That time the Tarpon defender almost just took himself out the play. He penetrated too deep into the backfield.
$60 for South Lafourche is leaving. That's Sawyer Wells. He played the last snap. He's going to get a break. That's half the distance to goal. The ball is now at the 7-yard line. If this is a situation where, I don't know, there's 20, 30 seconds left, Tyler might want to just kind of sit on this one here. But then again, it's not week 1, so why not?
Look, if you got a fresh receiver you can put in, the Tarpons just ran almost 100 yards.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I would throw it deep.
Oliver in the gun. Have him stacked up in a 4-receiver set. The lefty will look to throw. Throws it down the middle. It's caught down the middle of the field. He's hit and dropped by Terrence Petrie. It's a short gain. That's Quincy McKay who makes the grab. Terrebonne getting in there, no huddle offense. Oliver, straight drop under some pressure, flushed outside, looking to the sidelines, throws it down the seam. McKay, did he get a foot in? No, he did not. Taylor Bernard says he didn't get a foot down, so on 2nd down and 7, it's an incompletion, and it'll be 3rd and 7.
Before those last 2 plays was 45 seconds left.
So the Tigers are up against the clock pretty strong here with 1 timeout. See if the Tarpons could force a stop and maybe go try to block a punt.
So you would think here the Tigers may just run the ball and run the clock.
And know that, hey, if you block it well, you might break it because they have been very successful. And we have a pre-snap foul, offsides. Oh, that's going to drive BJ nuts. That's going to be lining up offsides on the defense. You can't have that. It's one thing if they, hard count you, but it's another thing when you just line up in the neutral zone. Here in this situation, not a whole lot of time. The 5 yards don't cost you a whole lot, but boy, later in the season, that could be a big bugaboo. So now it's 3rd and 2.
Tigers play 3rd and 2 on the 23.
At their own 23-yard line, ball smack dab in the middle of the field, trips to the right. Oliver. Oh, man, he'll just get the handoff off, but they've got a big old hole. Breaking tackles is Adams. Can the Tarpons chase him down? He turns it into another gear. He steps out of bounds. There's a flag at the 39-yard line, and it's coming back. But, boy, the Tarpons had so much penetration that defensive lineman almost took the handoff from Oliver, but then he just got it off to Adams, who then broke a long run.
Time may have expired also.
I heard a siren down there, which leads me to believe, and that's going to be a blindside block on Terrebonne, by the way. They're not walking off the field. So, yeah, they're going to have another snap at least. Oh, it's hold. I thought he said personal foul. I said hold. My apologies. Ball back to the 31. Tigers do get a 1st down on the penalty yardage. It's got to be just about any play now. As we've had a couple of long, timely plays since we heard 45 seconds. So the first half is winding down. Oliver in the gun. He's going to look to throw. It's a screen. It's caught by Celestine. Celestine cutting in. He's hit, and he's dropped at the 48. And that's going to bring us to the half. So we've played 1 half here, 15 minutes of football. Terrebonne leads 14-0. Luke, let's take a 4-minute break. When we get back, we'll break down everything we saw in this first half with the Tigers up by a couple of scores here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
We're Rev Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs: reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. Rev Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Hi, my name is Kai Cantor and I play basketball for Lafourche Biddy and I support Bayou Sports.
Hello, my name is Tyrese Edwards. I play for Lafourche High School and I support Bayou Sports.
Hello, my name is Mia and I play for Surge Athletics and I support Bayou Sports.
score. It doesn't matter. Just finish this game on positive notes.
You say win the half would be a pretty good goal?
That would be a great goal.
Tigers will be kicking it away. This will be left to right. Again, for those of you just tuning in, it's 14-0 here, Terrebonne, as we're starting the second half over at South Terrebonne. Thibodaux leads Ellender 21-0. Brendan McCormick will be kicking, and as I'm looking at the bleachers, there's a light drizzle falling. That light drizzle is going to keep me up here for game 2. I was maybe going to go down on the field. Here's the kick. It's going to be caught and fielded by Dardar at the 11. Dardar waiting on some blocks. Cuts up the field and will get tackled at the 27-yard line. So the Tarpons will take over there, 1st and 10.
Again, that's a good job by Dardar running north and south, just gaining positive yards every step.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for South Lafourche there. That's where Mac will lead out the troops.
1st and 10 on their own 27-yard line.
Tarpons have a couple of new coaches this season. I want to welcome Jeremy Wilson, of course, defensive coordinator, to the staff, as well as Wilbert Rhodes, Richard Partridge, Daniel Dickinson, some new members to the Tarpon football staff. First and 10, ball on the right hash, just starting the second half here from E.D. White. Mack is in the gun. Play action, looking to throw down the middle. Actually, on the outside to Hughes is incomplete. They're trying to take the top off. The timing looked a little bit off there. Good coverage by Chase Stewart.
I think it was a miscommunication with the receiver.
Yeah.
Mac thought he was going to run a different route.
Yeah, it looked like he was throwing it down the seam to where like a tight end would be. Hughes was not there. A little miscommunication. We'll bring up 2nd and 10. Tarpons had that run game going good early, but boy, Terrebonne has plugged it up dry. Mack will hand it to Dardar and plugged up dry. That's a loss of a yard or two, driving him back, pushing him on the turf. Terrebonne's got some big boys on that defensive front. I wish they had some jerseys that were a little bit easier for the eyes here. Looked like that's Ricardo Robinson that made the stop that time.
That time, the back coming across just missed his block on the end.
3rd down and 12 for South Lafourche. How many times have we seen the Tarpons pull a rabbit out of their hat on 3rd and long? Let's see if they could do it again here. Mack is in the gun. Trips to the right. That's the short side of the field. He's going to throw it out there to Pierce, and it's incomplete. He would not have had the 1st down, but boy, he would have been close. The sticks are at the 37. He dropped it at around the 35. It would have been a good catch. He got hit right as the ball got there.
Yeah, he ran a good, hard route. When you came back to the ball, he would have been short regardless.
And now we're going to just see the old traditional punt team. There's no tricks here. The Tarpons are bringing out Talon Dewey, and they'll punt it away. Terrence Petrie will be snapping. It looks like number 3 back there for Terrebonne. That would be Chasson.
Zero.
McKay, my bad. Step 1, let's get the snap there. And step 1 is we have a delay of game. Boy, that ain't any good. So the Tarpons will walk at 5 back.
Tarpons are penalized 5 yards for a delay of game.
We'll try it again. Now from the 20-yard line. See if Talon could get some hang time on this one. Put it in the air. Snap is pretty good. The kick is wobbly. It's going to bounce near midfield, take a little bit of a Tarpon roll. It's still rolling. It'll be killed at about the 44-yard line. So not a bad punt there from Talon. I tell you one thing, though, that the Tarpons are going to have to work on. Teams are going to see it on film. That snap was a little bit of a lollipop. Teams are going to be trying to come after that. If they see that on tape, Tarpons will have to clean that up a little bit. But it got there.
Yeah, it took it a little while to get where it was going,
Yeah.
but it got there.
It got there.
Terrebonne plays 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line.
And God bless him. Terrence has played every single snap of
And
this jamboree.
but that's what you want, live reps
Yep.
here.
Got to figure out some things to work on. 1st and 10 for Terrebonne at their own 44. Owen Oliver will lead his troops onto the field.
See if Terrebonne's going to try and go over the top quick.
He's got Celestine in the backfield with the ball in the right hash. Snap. Going to throw it to the sidelines, and it's going to be caught, short gain, by, I believe, number 11, Landon English. Oh, that's number 17, Carl Anderson. Oh, 7, my bad, Braylon Brown.
Correction, number 17, Carl Anderson.
I should have trusted my own instincts. It was 17, Carl Anderson. I was going by the PA guy. I had it right all along.
Came across, they threw it to the wide side. The ball was in the air a long time.
2nd and 6, ball in the left hash. They'll hand it off on right, or left tackle rather, driving for a first down across the 40 to about the 38. Big old gain there. Gain of about 12, 13 yards. That was Quincy Adams on the carry. You could just kind of see the recipe for Terrebonne, right? They're going to want to stay close early and just break you at the end of the game with this big, strong physical line. It's a toss to Adams this time.
Blockers.
And he's got blockers in front across the 30, breaking tackles, driving to the 20. It's another first down and another big gain. So Terrebonne imposing their will with their big, strong, nasty offensive line. They're driving the Tarpons back, and they are trying to score another touchdown. Oliver this time will have Celestine in the backfield. Trips to the left, ball in the right hash, and the Tarpons gave him 5 free. 2 Tarpons jumped into the neutral zone. The guilty parties that time were Logan Michelle and I believe Maurice Delot.
Tarpons penalized 5 yards for offsides. Tigers played 1st and 10 on the 15-yard.
This is what you were talking about earlier, Brian. Look, you're up against it. You're losing on the scoreboard. They're kind of starting to beat you up. Don't let the bottom fall out. Keep fighting. Oliver will throw it short, incomplete, off of the mitts of the receiver. Jarvis was in coverage. It wouldn't have been much of a gain. Bounced off the pads of 19. Terrence Diggs falls incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 5 at the Tarpon 15.
You know, I just wonder if the Tarpons are just a little tired right now.
Yeah, it sure looks it, right? Terrebonne really doesn't have any two-way players. The Tarpons have all two-way players. It's not hot, but boy, it's just muggy out there in that rain. Terrebonne has a bunch trips set to the left. They have 1 receiver to the right, ball in the right hash. Oliver, a little bit of a high snap, hands it to Celestine. Boy, they blew him up there. That's an easy walk-in score. The Terrebonne offensive line drove them back and adds 6 points to their lead. It's 20-0. Big old hole there. I don't want to say that you or I could have scored, but you or I could have got a few yards at least with the hole that they had there.
At least 2.
And when you got the wheels like Celestine has, he's going to drive that one into the end zone. So McCormick will be kicking the extra point. I don't know if that's accurate. The scoreboard's back on. It has 4:50. That feels like that'd be a really fast half so far.
Yeah.
Don't think we have glided through all of that time. Snap is there, kick is up, and it is good. Terrebonne leads 21-0. Luke, let's take a 1-minute break. The Tigers add 7 to their lead here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Terrebonne Tigers 21, Tarpon 0.
McCormick is going to kick it away. And we have offsides. So that's actually going to help us because we're not live on the radio yet. So welcome back here. Terrebonne attempted the kick, and it was offside. So we're going to have a re-kick 5 yards farther back.
The rain is coming down a little bit harder.
Yeah, looking in the bleachers, it is coming down, isn't it?
Look across in the lights.
It's not yet raining in the press box, is it?
No, but we're going to make buddies with E.D. White.
Yeah, we're going to have to find a way to stay up here for game 2. Truck is probably rooting for them to throw us out.
You want to give the boot.
McCormick will kick it away from the 35. It's a pretty good kick. It'll be caught at the 15. Drop. That's a wet ball now. Picked up by Dardar. Nice push, falling to about the 35-yard line. So a good surge forward, and Tarpons will take over there.
Look, Tarpon kick return team's doing a great job. They're getting the ball again, running north and south, getting positive yards. None of this dancing from side to side.
So the Tarpons will take over once more. We've got the scoreboard on. The clock is remaining off. It is 21-0. After this, we've got E.D. White taking on H.L. Bourgeois in game 2, assuming that there's no type of lightning or anything like that. That's one thing. My Lightning app has not gone off. So these cells, though they are annoying, they have not been dangerous. Mack will look to throw, and he's going to throw it to the sideline, and it's at the feet of Petrie. Just timing was thrown off a little bit on that one. It's just going to be tough on a wet ball against a tough, stingy defense. Got a lot of things pulling against you now.
Is Truck getting into a garbage bag?
Ball in the right hash. 2nd and 10. Mack has the snap under a lot of pressure. It's a screen. It's deflected, and it's intercepted, and it's going to be a pick 6. That is an outstanding defensive play by the Terrebonne Tigers. They deflected it up in the air, caught it, and took it to the house. And let me tell you something. The Tarpons had it set up. It was going to be a very nice gain. But the Tigers got their mitts on it, pounced, and their defense adds 6 to the lead. Not to be cliche, but when it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah, I mean, they had it set up. The ball just a good athletic defensive play by the Tigers.
Wish we'd have got the idea of the young man. It was 93, I believe, 98. It's so hard to see the jersey numbers of these guys. That one is good on the extra point. It's 28-0. We'll keep it right here. We just took a break. Yeah, for those who are not here, Terrebonne is wearing white jerseys with like fluorescent yellow numbers. It's next to impossible to see the numbers. But Tarpons attempted a screen. It got batted up in the air by a big old strong defensive lineman, and they picked it out of the air and clawed their way into the end zone and added to their lead. And they're flexing their muscles, showing why they are expected to be one of the top teams in our area.
Yeah, that defense just keeps coming at you, pressure.
Brian, the scary part is this is a young football team. This is not a very old and, super duper experienced ball team. 21-0. Thibodaux leads Ellender. They are still playing out there. It looks like the rain has kind of let up a little bit there.
Easy for us to say.
Yeah.
The Truck saying no, it hasn't.
No. I'm saying it let up at South Terrebonne, not here.
Oh.
Well, it's still coming down here. There's a high kick that'll be bouncing to Dardar at the 20. Trying to bounce outside, got a little blocking, and he's going to be hit and dropped at the 27-yard line. We've got the scoreboard rolling, 11:57 to go. Hopefully we can keep that rolling for the rest of the ball game.
To the 27-yard line, where he's got one of the 21, Malik Matthews, and number 10.
Now, I think if you're BJ, remember we asked BJ, hey, do you play some of your reserves and do you get everybody some time? And you're down 4 scores. It's now starting to be a steady rain. You don't want to lose anybody to an injury in a 4-touchdown game. I think you might start to mix and match a little bit. And if you're Tyler Lewis, much of the same. You might want to get some other guys some touches, but guess what? You're playing Riverside Academy next Friday.
Yeah, you just hope they all taped up and ready to go.
Yeah. Do I need to give you a symbol? First and 10 for the Tarpons. Ball at the 27-yard line. Ball in the left hash. 2 receivers to the left. Hughes in motion. Hughes is going to take the sweep. Trying to turn the corner on the outside, and he is bottled up. Look, that is a play that against probably 80% of the schedule this year, Hughes turns the corner and makes a nice play out of it. It's hard to go side to side against this Terrebonne team, and he loses a bunch.
Loss of 9.
I'll bring up second and awfully long here with 11:30 and counting.
Yeah,
to go.
you understand what he was trying to do is get to the corner, to the edge, but this quick defense, it's tough to do.
Yep, Terrebonne has some of that river speed, even though they're not a river team. They think they could beat the river teams this year. See Paul Trahan standing under the tent. That's not allowed for a referee. Timeout called by B.J. Young. Play clock was down to 0, and the Tarpons were nowhere near ready. Tarpons got to get some things together right now. I don't like the body language, man. You're losing. You're getting beat up a little bit, but this game don't count, man. Like, let's get some positive reps. Let's finish this game strong.
Yeah, this next 11 minutes, just you get something positive that you can build on for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. All is certainly not lost. Let's thank Terrio Dewey and Terrio. We make insurance easy since 1957. South Lafourche Bank, your true hometown bank, since 1967. And also PMC Insurance. Also the Gin Gators. We want to thank PMC Insurance. Protection you could trust and service you deserve. The Gin Gators, of course, are our sponsor of our Power Player of the Game, which we will give to you at the end of this broadcast.
Got a couple of guys in mind.
Yep. 1 week from tonight, we'll be back at home. It's going to be one of our only times in the home press box in the first month of the season. Tarpons will be taking on Thibodaux. Second and awfully long here. Ball in the right hash. Mack, an inside give to Dardar. Driving to about the 20, still pushing to about the 21, gain of about 3. Very little, but he got something. So to the point we were making, we are at home week 1, but then we're on the road week 2, 3, and 4. Pro River 2, Central Lafourche 3. Is it Ellender 4 or South Terrebonne? 4.
Maybe South Terrebonne 4.
I know we're going to South Terrebonne, just wasn't sure the opponent. It is South Terrebonne. Here it's 3rd and 15 for the Tarps at the 20-yard line. Mack under some pressure, flushed out. Looking to maybe run. Now he'll throw it at the last second down the field. Got a man. Caught by Jarvis. That's a Golden Motors first down, and that's a Blue Boot bomb. A 30-plus yard reception across midfield to the 47. Boy, a really good play there. There's a flag on the play.
Oh, man.
And I don't know that this one's going to count. Maybe a lineman downfield, maybe. Mack was flushed out. Targeting on South. How could an offensive player target? Well, it's all for naught.
There's some jawing.
Yeah, there's some jawing going on. A big positive play and a really nice throw from Mack to Jarvis will go for naught. And the Tarpons are now going to be facing 3rd and Chagbay. This is... You've got a long way to go now. They're putting the ball at the 13-yard line. You've got to get to the 37.
Mack did a good job that last play, giving him extra time to throw a football.
Oh, yeah,
Jarvis down the field.
Yeah, he kept his eyes down the field, didn't he? Maybe a screen down here. Mack flushed out to the right. We'll throw it to Dardar. Dardar will be hit, breaks a tackle, and will be shoved out of bounds. Nowhere near the first down, but he got about 5 or 6, and the Tarpons are going to punt it away.
Mack's pass is complete to Dardar. He's tackling number 4, Ramsey Smith.
With 9:56 to go. Just been one of those nights for the guys in the blue jerseys. They have just been struggling to keep a rhythm. They have had some positive plays. They've just had a hard time stringing them together. As Talon Due and the punt team will come on out. 0 will be back there. That is Quincy McKay.
Tarpons have to work on their. They're going to get a delay of game.
Yep, 0. Yeah, that's a delay game. That's not okay. I mean, that's the second time in this game where you run out the punt team and you just can't get them on the field in time.
The play clock is ticking right after the play's over. And look, honestly, the Tarpons are jogging off the field and on the field, and they're late getting the.
Yeah, the coaching staff's arguing, but
I don't know what you have to signal.
I'm a little puzzled on that one. We'll see if they can get it to Due clean. He's standing at the 1 yard line. High snap. They're coming this time. Ooh, they blocked it. And it's a wobbly duck that'll go out of bounds at the 28. David Miller said that it was deflected. So we told you after that last snap that, yeah, there's going to need to be a little more velo on that one. Terrence is going to have to be a point guard and get it there a little quicker. That time they deflected the punt. And it was a little wobbler that the Tigers will take over deep in Tarpon territory.
Tarpon punt goes out of bounds on the 29-yard line. So Terrebonne will play first.
29-yard line.
Yeah, the 29. Tigers will stay on the aggressive here. I think that's maybe a new quarterback out there. It looks like maybe number 3, Chasson. Tell me if I'm correct, Brian. It looks like number 3 under center.
You are correct.
So Chasson, Tigers going to get some younger guys some reps. Inside handoff. Nice Kane. My goodness. And bouncing it into the end zone. That'll be number 9, Branson Balmalin. And the Tigers waltz into the end zone and add 6 more to their tally. It's 34-0. Your number one concern here is just that you don't get demoralized. You're facing a really good opponent. They've kind of sapped the energy out of you a little bit here. And frankly, the Tarpon body language is awful right now. You've got to fix some of that.
Yeah, Terrebonne's doing a good job of at the line of scrimmage and getting to the next level and getting these touchdown blocks.
The extra point is nearly blocked, but it is banged through. What did Tyler Lewis tell us today? I want my offensive line to get to the safety as well.
Well, they're trying.
Yeah, they're trying. Let's take a 1-minute break. It's 35-0 Tigers. We'll be back on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Hey, my name is Carter Cantrell. I play basketball and baseball for the Lafourche Tarpons, and I support Bayou Sports.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar, go from 0 to 100. That's why Rev is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to Rev. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Welcome back. It is 35-0 Terrebonne in front of South Lafourche. 9:41 to go. McCormick will be kicking it away. Hughes is the deep man. I don't know that Dre's gotten a chance to touch one of these. This is a little pop kick. That'll be fair caught at the 25. Dropped. And I think the Tarpons fell on it at the 29. The Tarpon offense will take over there.
There's a late flag. There's some jawing going back and forth. I think they caught Terrebonne, possibly.
Yep, they're still trying to restrain him. You don't want to see anybody push anybody or get ejected or do anything that could jeopardize week 1. Fellas, it's a 35-0 ball game here. One team is clearly beating up on the other. Let's get in and out clean.
That's exactly what they caught Terrebonne.
As the rain stiffens, it is now coming down pretty hard here. Ball will be moved to the 45, or excuse me, yeah, the 45-yard line. My apologies. And it'll be 1st and 10.
Tarpon plays 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line.
Mack. Dardar in the backfield. Throw it to the sideline out to Petrie, and he dropped it. Wet ball. Incomplete.
Max pass was incomplete.
That's one that Terrence is going to catch probably 99 times out of 100, but with a little bit of moisture on the ball, couldn't squeeze that one.
Another flag.
And a late flag.
On the Tigers again.
Look, I'm going to be as blunt as I could be here. Terrebonne, you were a 7-3 team last year. You lost in the first round of the playoffs. Doing crap like this is going to get you right back to that. You're not going to take the next step forward if you keep committing penalties like this. That's now 30 free yards that they have given the Tarpons. And I know, and look, if you're listening in the home area, you could be mad at me all you want. Tyler Lewis is going to come on the show tomorrow and say the exact same thing. You can't have penalties like that and try to take the next step.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Waiting on the snap. Inside give to Dardar. Big hole. Driving. He's across the first down sticks. That's a Golden Motors first down, but the ball's out, and Terrebonne has got it. So, boy, it's just one of those nights. Tarpon's got a 12-yard gain on the run. Ball squirts out. Dardar loses it, and Terrebonne falls on it, and it's just not South Lafourche's night tonight. And sportsmanlike conduct on Terrebonne again.
Oh, my God.
3 straight plays. Terrebonne gets a 15-yard penalty. Hoo-wee.
Give credit to the Tarpons.
They're not retaliating.
They're playing football.
Yeah, they're not retaliating. The Tigers are going to have some things to clean up because I know Tyler Lewis is not going to be happy with now 45 yards of penalties in the last 3 plays. Chasson will still be in it, quarterback. I think it was Bonvalin who got the last carry. Tigers are back deep inside their own territory, 9:28 to go. The snap inside handoff. He's going to be hit and dropped for a loss. So that tackle for a loss brought to you by the Terry L. Hunter III Foundation. I haven't had very many of those.
That was roughing on the carry. Same play that they scored on. They tried to come back with that same exact play. Tarpons there to stuff it out.
Saj roughing 30. Is that who you got?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. I'll bring up 2nd and 13. Ball near the 10-yard line. Chasson waiting on the snap. We'll throw it to the sideline. Hit and dropped. Very good defense that time from number 7, Jaden Lee. Leveling the wide receiver who says, you know what, to heck with these gloves. He's taking off the gloves. That was number 11, Landon English, who dropped it. Jaden Lee there to lay the stick. The rain is coming down. It is not pouring, but it is a stiff rain now. It's 3rd and 13. Chasson looking to run. I don't think he's going to get all the way there. Nope, he's hitting. Drop the ball's out, I think. Nope. Not a fumble, but not a first down. So the Tigers will punt it away. With 8:38 and counting, if you're just joining us, 35-0 Terrebonne. The Tigers have been in control throughout. It's 4th and 7. Terrebonne's going to punt this football away. If I am, Tarpons are having a hard time getting their punt return team out onto the field. Terrence standing at midfield. It is coming down right now. There's the snap. It's nearly over his head. He'll pick it up, and he'll get it away. What a job by the punter. He just kicks it kind of out of bounds at the 34. But, boy, maybe the best catch we've seen today. That one had safety written all over it. But he caught it with one hand. It bounced off the turf. He picked it up, and then he got it away, saving his team either a safety or maybe even a touchdown if the Tarpons could have blocked it.
Yeah, I think it could have been a touchdown.
Yeah. In the driving rainstorm, the Tarpons will take over 1st and 10 with 8 minutes to go.
They'll need some help filming next game.
Yeah, I'm hoping they let us stay up here for game 2 because I'm not all that excited about going down into that. It is storming here.
I can be very quiet standing in the back.
Tarpon say first and 10 on the
First and 10
34
for the Tarpons. Ball at the 34-yard line. And we have a offside. Terrebonne lined up in the neutral zone. So we move it 5 yards up. Tell you what, the Tigers are in control. The Tigers have been the better team. They're going to win this Jamboree. But it has gotten a little sloppy for the guys in the white jerseys. And I know that Tyler Lewis is going to evaluate this film and say, fellas, the officials are pointing in our direction way too much. See if they could clean that up here in the back end of this Jamboree. First and 5. Mack will hand it to Dardar, bouncing outside, big gain, inside the 20, 15 driving, hit at the 10, and he's got a Golden Motors first down. So big gain for the Tarpons there.
Tarpons inside the Absolute Fitness red zone.
Yep, second time tonight. First time they got plugged up at the 2 or 3 yard line. Let's see if they could drive it in here. It is first and goal, ball right at the 10.
Lafourche plays first and goal on the 10-yard line.
Ball in the right hash. Play clock grinding down. Tarpons got to hurry down the 5. It's Hughes in the backfield with Mack. Mack will hand it to Hughes. Bounces outside, hit at the 5, and oh boy, slammed out of bounds. Luckily didn't draw a flag. And we have a Tarpon that's cramping down there in the end zone. Actually, it's a Terrebonne player stretching him out.
Hughes on the carry, he gained 6.
Nice job by Hughes on that carry.
So Dre bounced it outside, picked up about 5. You maybe give me an idea on the Tarpon that's cramping there in the end zone, and it was one of the receivers. Good sportsmanship shown is actually the Terrebonne defensive back who got to him first and was helping stretch him out. It is not hot, but again, it's muggy. We're playing in a soup bowl tonight here at E.D. White.
Looks like Pierce.
Yep, and I think it is, huh?
Yep.
Jacob Pierce looks to be okay. It's just dead red cramps.
Yeah, a little cramp.
And he is already back down on the turf as he gets off the field. Maybe they're going to have to drag him off a little more. But it is now second and goal from the 5. Elliot Shermy checks into the game. They hand it to Hughes again. Hughes going to be hit at the 3 and stop there. So it'll be third and goal. Tarpons are trying to get Dre into the end zone here with 6:23 and counting. And I think Meathead's getting stretched up down there too. I think he might be cramping. That might be why we're seeing Dre in there. Third and goal. Mack will flush out to the right. We'll throw it up in the air. It's caught for a touchdown. There's a flag on the play. Right as the ball was caught, the flag came out, which leads you to believe maybe it's a lineman down the field or something of the sort. It is personal foul on Terrebonne. Declined for a touchdown. Surprise, surprise. Terrebonne commits a 15-yard penalty, and the Tarpons add 6 points. Looked like Terrence Petrie got the catch.
It was.
So Mack to Petrie on the 3-yard grab, 6:03 to go. The foul is on the Tigers. And now we're going to get an opportunity to see Wilbert Serrano try to kick an extra point. Tarpon shuffling some personnel. They got some time. Play clock down to 15. All right, Serrano banging home. Snap is a little low, and they're going to take off and run and throw it, and they're going to convert. That was actually Jaden Lee completing it to Talon Dewey on the fire drill. So the Tarpons get 8 out of the possession. It's 35-8. It's all Terrebonne, but the Tarpons just made a play. Let's take a 1-minute break here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
With 6:03 remaining.
Hello, my name is Tyrese Edwards. I play for South Lafourche High School and I support Bayou Sports.
The Tarpons get a short field off of the punt and go down the field and finish it off with a touchdown pass from Mack to Petrie. Complete the fire drill on the extra point conversion, so it's 35-8. Scoreboard just went black. It was 6 minutes whenever I last saw.
And good job by the extra point team getting to your spots on the snap.
Serrano kicks it away. The Tigers will be under it at about the 15-yard line. That is McKay working up the field and going down. McKay looked like he kind of lost his footing a little bit. I know that turf's getting slick. It's been raining for quite some time now. Kidd makes the tackle. So a pretty stiff rain falling, and it's the Tigers out in front.
Yeah, and they just shut off the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, there were 6 minutes the last I saw. So we're getting there. Tarpons have a couple of guys hustling some equipment out of E.D. White's end zone there. Chassaw in the gun. It is still 30 in the backfield with him. That's Saj Ruffin. Trips to the right, ball in the left hash. Chasson will toss it out to Ruffin. The Tarpons are there. Can they tackle him? Yes, they can. Good job. Threw him for about a 5-yard loss.
Torres.
Yep, Yair Torres makes the stop. So good defense from the boys in blue.
He gained 3 on the play and he's tackling number 19.
PA here said he gained 3 on the play. No, sir. He lost 3 on the play. That's a tackle for a loss brought to you by the Terry L. Hunter III Foundation. Yeah, they corrected themselves. They do such a wonderful job here. This is such a wonderful press box, by the way. Be 2nd down and 3 for the Tigers. Inside handoff. And driving near the original line of scrimmage that time is Ruffin. Not much. Better job by the Tarpon defense. So it'll be 3rd and about 8 or so. Got a little across the original line of scrimmage. Let's pick up about 4 or 5.
Tigers play 3rd and 7.
Tarpon's got some new jerseys in there.
Yep. See if they can get a little pressure here. It's the snap. Inside handoff. Nothing. Maybe got a yard. It was 3rd and 7. Very little. So Terrebonne's going to go 3 and out. Tarpons will have one last opportunity on offense, perhaps.
Yep. Tigers like their left side of their offense.
Here comes the punt team. The rain has slacked off a little bit here. It was really coming down. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably about a 3 or 4. Says the people under a roof in the air condition.
You better cool it. Truck's going to put us on the sideline next time it rains.
Oh, I don't even see Truck on the side. Oh, he's out there. Yeah, he's still out there.
He's there.
There's the punt. It is high. It'll bounce at the 44. It'll take a Terrebonne run. That's a good punt. And it'll be down at the 35. So Tarpons will take over there. What'd you say, about 4 minutes or so, roughly?
Yeah, I would guess. It's
something like that.
That last series of clock ran. It was 3-run plays. So
yeah. 35-8, Terrebonne in front. We figure this at the very least will be one of South Lafourche's last opportunities, if not the last on offense. Ball at the 34-yard line. It was a good kick that time from Terrebonne. Their special teams have been pretty good. E.D. White just taking the field to our left. They're going to be up next against H.L. Bourgeois. I don't see. Oh, yeah, there's H.L. Bourgeois in the other end zone. Hughes in the backfield with Matt. Jarvis in motion. Mack. Play action, flushed out. Makes the first man miss. Throws it to the sideline. Caught by Jarvis. Good job there by Mack. Making a defender miss, keeping his eyes down the field and completing it to Jarvis. And a good job by Jarvis dragging the toe down.
Yeah, that was a good job by Mack. He backed up, gave himself some room.
Only gained about 3 or 4, but boy, the alternative was a sack. So the Tarpons turn a negative into a positive. I'm beginning to think Meathead's night might be done. I see him on the sideline next to the water cooler. He was getting stretched out a little bit. Might have been fighting some cramps. Hughes is back there in the backfield. Hughes is going to get the carry this time. He's going to drive across the 40. Pretty good gain. Got about 3 or 4. Hughes is a guy that even if Dardar is healthy and ready to go, is going to get a lot of touches in this offense. So he's getting some work.
Yeah, Hughes is quick hitting that hole.
Ball at the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3. Trips to the right. That is the strong side of the field. That's Jarvis flanked out to the left. Mack rolls out. Will hit Jarvis. My apologies. He's flanked out to the right. It was number 10 that was flanked to left, Jack Castaneda. The Tarpons do get a Golden Motors first down on the 6-yard completion. Well, Jarvis has had a nice little day on the receiving front. I know he wants that fumble back in the red zone. But he's been open down there a couple times, made some nice plays.
He has some good routes he's running, and Mack's doing a super job getting the ball to him.
We've got to be getting pretty close to the end here. The Tarpons, we think, got it back with roughly 4 minutes or so left. They've run a couple of plays. They're not in any hurry. Mack under pressure. Well, just over Hughes. There's a flag on the play where they may be holding Dre.
They got call interference or holding, yeah.
Yeah, on the defense here, Dre was kind of getting hung up. And let me tell you, it is holding on Terrebonne. That's probably not a bad foul because Dre had a running start. The defender was standing still. If he doesn't grab him, Dre makes that catch and is probably still running. So it is going to be a defensive foul.
The rain has just about stopped.
Well, just in time for E.D. White, huh? You think Kyle Lassane got things rolling here at E.D. White? He's even in control of the weather out here.
I'm not sure. They got the football all the way across
There's a
midfield.
15-yard penalty for defensive holding. Yeah, the fella's got to get on the ball. The officials know what's going on. Truck and the chain crew knows what's going on. Ball to Terrebonne 43. Strong side of the field to the left. Tarpons have trips that way. Play action. Mack throws the screens deflected and is just kind of batted down by the offensive line. Good heads-up play that time by 61. Jonah Otan saw that ball flopping up in the air, and he just swatted it down like a volleyball player. We've already seen a couple of too many balls pop up in the air at the line of scrimmage tonight. So it'll be 2nd and 10. 35-8, Terrebonne in front. Tarpons are driving. We got a feeling the time is running a little short. 4 receiver set. They'll hand it to Hughes. Hughes is going to be hit near the line. He's going to be dropped after a gain of about 1 or 2.
Yeah, short gain there, but Hughes getting some good reps though for him in this live action.
He's kind of like Taysom Hill, right? He's going to play receiver. He's going to play running back. He's going to do a little bit of everything for BJ. Kind of that Swiss Army knife. Petrie the same. Going to play a little of everything. Mack, throw a little slant to Petrie. He's got it. Cutting up the field. Golden Motors first down across the 30. Dropped at the 29. Good timing route there. Mack threw that ball before Petrie broke and just trusted that he would be there. And sure enough, he was there. And it is a Golden Motors first down. Tarpons are in their 2-minute, trying to get one more for the road here. There's no doubt who's going to win this thing. But Mack will drop back and will throw it deep down the field. It's caught for a touchdown. That is Terrence Petrie on the grab. Another very nice timing pattern. And it is 35-14. Beautiful throw from Mac. There was a defender there in front of Terrence, and Mac just floated it right over his mitts into the end zone.
Yeah, the defender thought the ball was going to be a little bit shorter and just sailed right over his head. Good job by Terrence. Keep running. He kept running down the field, and 6 points for the Tarpons.
35-14 in the waning moments here. Let's see if Serrano could bang one home. The snap was a little low last time. Snaps wide again, and it'll be picked up by the holder, who will go down. Tarpons got to clean that up. It is 35-14. Terrebonne is in front of South Lafourche. I think that's the end of the game, folks. So let's go ahead. Well, BJ's talking. Is that the end of the game? Let's see. E.D. White just took the field. BJ's talking with the officials. And, yep, that's the end of the ball game. So let's go ahead and do this, Luke. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. When we get back, Brian and I will wrap things up. Terrebonne gets a 35-14 win over South Lafourche. And Brian and I will talk about it when we get back here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.